Alright, folks, welcome back, everyone. 欢迎大家回来。今天是320天 is day 320. Coming up on that year, the anniversary for both Wanikani and HanziHero. Yesterday was a bit of an average day. Got a tough ones. I feel like we got some tough ones. So, 吉. And this is to contrast with Ji, which uses flowers at the top. Oh. So we have Fo. Kinda touched up this a little bit for negate. Make it more about the trying to take food, right? Eating because of ordeal. Frodo-esque. Xian Pitfall. So made it more about what Xena does. So Xena was looking, go to the bathroom, clean off some like mortar and pestle in order to use to make some bait to create a pitfall trap in the neighboring hills, something like that. And this one is kind of still not that great. We have Xiu, which is rotten. So Xena going down the basement, looking at looking for one crate of ingredients. The stuff went rotten, so that she used a grinder with maybe a wooden handle to prepare for compost. Something like that. Not the greatest. And then Qia is pretty bad too. Like I'm still kind of brainstorming. It's pinch. Oh, it's pinch. Right. And Kirby in front of the auditorium, maybe trying to pitch some ingredients from the audience by putting on a show in order to make something delicious with a mortar and pestle. Like this one's rough. Pinch is really rough. Maybe we'll be able to line it up with something else in the future. All right.
橙汁
orange juice, make sense.
橙汁阎王
Yan Wang. Yan is land gate and then king. I'm guessing this has some sort of Yama? Yin Yang? Interesting. Oh, I see. That's the name as well. Oh wait, is it that one character? Is that the one depiction? Yan Wang. Is it the no code? Oh wait. Oh no, it's not the. Oh yes, it is the thing. It is that guy. I see. I wonder what the relationship between the depiction of Like, what was his name? Hold up. What's the guy's name on the end of Snake Road? Oh, but I guess that's more like a heaven thing. Huh? Oh no, not King Kai. Yenma. Yeah, King Yama. Oh, oh no, not King Yama. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. I wonder what the relationship is between that. I've seen this a couple times, kind of personified or depicted in like Journey to the West situation. I think this is the same character or like the same entity. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the life and death thing. Largely depicting when Pixie or Buckeye is sentenced, when he is sentenced to something, and then that's how he got the, because he was a heavenly whatever you call them, he was a heavenly immortal. Buckeye was the pixie character, and because he succumbed to his own lust that he was punished by sentenced into an immortal. But on his attempts, there are various like versions of this. He was sentenced to like a life as a demon, right? As a representation, well, kind of as a representation of his vices, much like other demons. I'm pretty sure Yan Wang is that particular character. I'm saying character because I'm thinking of a story that was presented, but that's kind of interesting. A lot of the like depictions of spiritual like gods and goddesses tend to kind of bleed together because they are courtroom people. They are depicted with like robes and garbs of courtroom. So it can be a little bit difficult to identify them based on portraits and whatnot. This one's a neat one though.
阎王，理睬，
理财, logic and 财. What was 财? To look at? No. What the 财? The notice. Logic notice. To pay attention to? Okay, that's fine. Kind of reminds me of what is the other one? Yin, it's kind of like oh no, I don't remember it. It has to be triggered. Dang it. Like something seeing, no. Oh man. It's like, it's kind of like to take something to heart, so you're paying attention. I need to pay attention. It's in the phrase to make sure to pay attention to your health. It's a very common phrase to make sure to take care of your health. And the phrase is actually more in line with pay attention to your health. Like, please pay attention to your health. It's important, or it's strongly encouraged that you make sure to take care of your health. Just pay attention. Just don't remember it now. It's not Yingai, that's should. Guanxing? No. No, but it's kind of close to that. 注意? No. Dang it. Anyways, it'll come to me when it's triggered. Okay, 理财
理财
Oh. Okay. Alright. Alright.
毅力
Yi Li to stand towering? Wait. Where does Yi? What the Yi? Towering? Oh, stand towering.
毅力
That's towering stand.
光明磊落
Guan Ming Lei Luo. Guan Ming, so really bright. Maybe like confidence. Ming. Lei Luo. A pile of stone, so maybe like as bright and solid as stone. Fall? What? I wasn't expecting that fall at the end. Alright, help me out here. Upright describes someone who is so honest that it seems that rays of, that emanates from them, and each truth they falls down as though tumbling okay, that's, then it just dribbles off. Alright. I would love to hear the story behind Guan Ming Lei Luo. But alright, we'll try to hold on to that.
光明磊落
Upright is not specifically in any of those characters, so that's kind of interesting. Alright.
橙汁理睬光明磊落
E is a bit weak.
毅力
I guess yesterday I had a problem with it too, even if it's the following day. Or stand towering. Okay, I guess they don't take the other side.
阎王
Okay.
打岔
Cha. Cha was somewhat weak, right? Cha. Cha. Yeah, diverge. So slap and diverge. Okay. Interrupt. Fair enough.
打岔战俘
Young fool. Makes sense. Prisoner of war. Or captive.
战俘掐算
Cha Shuan. Oh, this is like a pinch plan, which is rough. Not quite a... Wait, by pinching your fingers get to count out things? I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's more like an intensifier. Oh, to count. Interesting. Count on the fingers. Oh, that roughly calculates. Like doing, oh, I remember doing this. Actually, I legitimately remember doing this where there's a system of counting where you can use like your finger taps when you're pinching to do the calculations. Count on fingers. Interesting. All right. I'll have to remember that. Roughly calculate. Intriguing. That might help with the remembering. Cha.
掐算
Interesting.
岔路
Ha Lu. Cha. Diverge. Road? Oh, okay. Side road. Or detour. Can I use detour? Branch road? A by road? No. Detour is slightly different.
岔路
I'll show you
橙
a
色
side road. 城市.城
橙
色
色
橙色. Eh?
打岔
Ah.
战
政
斧
府. Hmm.
岔路橙色
Okay.
掐算
掐算. Alright.
不理不睬
不理不睬. 不理 no. Oh, 不理不睬. The opposite of paying attention is to not pay attention or completely ignore. I think to not pay attention is fine too. To not pay attention to. Because it's negating pay attention. 理睬, right? 理睬,不理不睬, which is kind of very similar format in other ones too. Like 不理不会, or like 不 reason, like no reason, no cause situations. I don't quite remember off the top of my head those words are.
不理不睬
I'll take ignore. Ignore is good.
周
Joe. Continent. Oh. How does that different from Joe? I think it's just the left hand is missing, right? I gotta go look at Joe. Yeah. Oh, this is actually the Joe I'm more familiar with than this Joe. Interesting. That's the connection. Maybe the Joe is surrounded by water, so continent. James Bond is in front of the bakery preparing his assault on orders from the state. Oh yeah, that's right. State is still in it though. This is no normal bakery, but one armed with the weapons of mass destruction that can plan to release onto the entire continent of Europe. To state it funny. To state it plainly, they have developed a spray that can turn any human being into a croissant. The aim of these radical French bakers is to make French the only state left on the entire continent. Alright, good enough. Oh, okay, yeah, all the continents. Yacho, yeah, this is the one that I'm more familiar with. Yacho. What is Ojo? Yeah, Ojo. Oh, interesting. It retained okay. Ow, yeah. Ojo. I feel like we're missing some stuff here.
周宋
Song. Oh no, we gotta know the proper noun. You look like a song. The closest song I have. Send? Do you look like a send? You kind of look like a send. Song. Or deliver. Oh no, you don't. Just kidding. I lied. Fake news. Fake news. Song. SpongeBob is in the bathroom of the temple where he is taking care of a Song Dynasty dollhouse. That is next to. All right. We gotta change this. Maybe I could use that. Kind of want to deviate you away from Dollhouse. All right. So SpongeBob is in the bathroom of the temple, where he finds himself relegated or punished for goofing around. To maintain a wooden storage container containing a priceless Song Dynasty artifact. But as one may have imagined, SpongeBob goofed around while cleaning the bathroom, the hot spring area, and broke it. Song, 北宋 and 南宋. Yeah, makes sense. North and south during that time.
宋我
Father's older brother? Interesting. So the oldest uncle, or like an older uncle? Or no, boy. Interesting. Father's older brother. Yeah, uncle. Another unk. A truest unk. Bart Simpson is inside the lobby of the office building. Does that look like a wall? Not really. What do you look like? A bye, maybe? Okay. Being disciplined by his father's older brother. He isn't yellow like the other Simpsons, but you know, that's kind of interesting. I don't think Homer has brothers. He does have two sisters, as far as I remember. He isn't yellow like the other Simpsons, but he is instead a white, slender man. Interesting. Looking almost like a weird tall angel. Bart's uncle works at the office building and caught Bart doing something bad. His tall, slim appearance is the opposite of his fat Homer, his brother. Okay. Yeah, sure. That works pretty all right, I think. Yes. 伯父, okay. Father's older brother, father. 伯母. Father's older brother's wife. Okay.
我脸
Lian. Hey, we got Lotus. Oh, it's a Lian. I see the Lian. Now we have some flowers on top. Convoy. Link is inside the pawn shop trying to sell rare treasure he recently found. It is a miniature convoy of lotus flowers. Okay, each on a pair of wheels and connected each to each. This shop owner thinks it is worthless and will only give him 10 rupees. A bit more interesting if he was in a convoy Or maybe like it's inside of a pawn shop. Maybe like delivering a rare lotus flower. A rare lotus flower for exchange from a royal convoy, or acting on behalf of Zelda's royal convoy. Something like that. 莲花 makes sense. 莲字. Oh, it switches to seed. Okay.
莲
Okay.
周 不理不睬 送 我 莲
All right.
一
They? What? What? Huh. I'm unaware of this. When was the last time I had a rake? Was it for... No. Dang. It is kind of E-like. Oh, they're all E's? Oh no, there's some Jun... Alright. Art group. Yoshi is in front of the house door, holding a rake in one hand. He is surrounded by a bunch of Slendermen who came at him from all sides. He keeps them away with his rake while squeakily saying out loud, "Where did they come from?" Oh. I don't know how I feel about thinking Yoshi can speak. Alright, I got one. Yoshi is in front of the house, doing, you know, being put to work by a Slender Man with a rake. He is to rake up all the debris and leaves on the lawn. He is doing it. He wonders, where are all of them coming from? Okay, Garden of Eden. Eden Yuan? They pasture. Garden. Wait. Yidian Yuan. Oh yeah, it makes sense. Yidian, that's transliteration. And then combined with garden. Yidian. Alright, makes sense. Yilang. Oh man, that's transliteration too. Yiren. Oh, okay.
Roll.
Roll. Oh, that is totally soft. Yeah, that is definitely soft. Robin Hood is inside the bakery where he works. Sure. He uses soft movements with his spear to cut a green tree shape out of very soft cake. Then he uses soft movements to provide soft pieces of stolen gold onto... Okay. Calm down. Saw. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Robin Hood is inside the bakery, looking to have soft, delicious, buttery croissants. In exchange, he has acquired, yes, stolen a bunch of arms, right? Arms from the local aristocrat to arm the poor. He offered, he exchanged, right? Entire wooden chest of wooden spears. Or some fluffy and soft croissants. Alright. Alright. Roll, rin, roll, rin. Soft. The other thing soft? It's kind of more like own. Oh no, it's soft. Double soft. Gentle. When what? One roll? Interesting. Oh, maybe it's more like a gentle wind soft?
Rou,
Like weather related?
Mo,
More, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Wait, why do you look like something? Oh man, how do I differentiate between this is Haku, right? Or Baku. This is Baku. Why is it no? Huh. This is Baku. Mario's in the bathroom of the office building trying to verify that nobody is using the toilet before he shuts off the water to do some plumbing work. Okay, he throws a fireball at each of the bathroom stalls to destroy them. That doesn't make any sense. He does this to each stall and surely... However, he finds a coffin, but inside it had nobody. Okay. We're really stretching here. Well, it's definitely coffin. So more definitely fits the coffin lifestyle. The bathroom though. Honestly, that's as much as I can hope for.
默，正，
Jung. Oh my Jung. What's with all these proper nouns? James Bond is in the bathroom. It's another wait. It's another Jung, isn't it? No, the other one is Je. James Bond, do you look like a Jung? Not really. What's the thing on the left? Dan. Dan is on the left. Oh, man. Oh, you know, this kind of sort of reminds me of Jun, not Jung. Jun. Jun instead of Jung. Right? What was that, like battle formation? Jun. Oh no, it doesn't. It only has hill. Dang it. Oh, that's not good. That's a no bueno. Jun He. Okay. Okay. James Bond is in the bathroom of the English Manor where he comes across Mr. Jung, who owns the place. Signor Jung gives him a bottle of the source of his fortune, Mr. Jung's Bighorn's liquor. James Bond, wanting to be polite, takes a swig and instantly gets so drunk that begins to see hills. Oh my, this is all over the place. Actually, I kind of want to make a trip back into Bottle Town. Yeah, it's definitely Dian. How many Dians do we have? Here's one. Here's two. They're kind of linked with Jun. Is Dian actually the exception? Dang. Not enough. I could use it as established though. Establish hill. Try that. Alright, James Bond, let's just say snuck into the bathroom. Or use like the other approach. Look in the bathroom of the English Manor. To, let's just say, to establish look in the bathroom from the hills. From the neighboring hills to establish a message to Mr. Jung. It's contact inside the manor. Or something. Or just something it.
正瑞
Rui. Auspicious. Oh, can this be tied with like Rui Xing? Xing Rui. Rui. Oh, this is kind of an interesting combination. Is this my first? Rui. Rudolph is in the bathroom of the beach house on the bay. He is washing off an auspicious looking scepter. Okay. He found earlier on the beach. He covered that it is covered with sand. He rubs the top of it and it shakes before vanishing into poof and turning into an old prospector. He looks at Rudolph crying joy. What an auspicious oh my. Prospector. Hmm. All right. So, Rudolph is in the bathroom of the beach house, carrying a scepter, accompanied owned and accompanied by the prospector. It was an auspicious find along the beach. Covered in sand, the prospector washes scepter clean, right? Auspicious. Auspicious snow? Interesting. Reishe. 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 Oops.
瑞
Yikes.
一 瑞 末
What the big bottle? It was established, right?
正
That needs help, actually. Hold up. Hang on. Was it? Yeah. Okay. Just double checking.
Rou
Man, the soft has nothing to do with describing this wind spears. That's kind of a... Alright. Quite tired today. Dang. Oh no!
细
Hey.
抓住
他们把他抓住。
Catch is fine. Seize is fine too.
优
Uh-oh. Oh no. It's all I can think about is it's not excellent. We're gonna have to come back. I have no idea. That's another way to say supervise. Yeah? Right? Heck. Man. Hold. Oh no, what? Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's not good. That's really
菊
weak.
花、
这朵菊花开得很美丽，
Not good, not good.
韵、
Mm. uh,
木、
oh, is it like worry? Okay.
尖、 稍微、
你可以稍微加点盐。
铅笔、
这支铅笔断成2段了。
山洞、
他们喜欢探索山洞。
What?
斧、
Heck. Yikes.
父母、
他父母住在瑞士。 Oh, it's not move. Woo.
潜水、
潜水需要训练。
石、
The old heck. Sure. Ah. What happened there?
亲吻、
亲吻是一种表达爱意的方式。
咸粥、
他每天早上吃1碗咸粥。
滋、蒸、潜力、
他有很大的潜力。
粉、柳树、
柳树开始抽芽了。
旧、 酒吧，
他俩下班后常常去酒吧。
知识，
这块知识很大。
Oh no. Cheese. Heckin' cheese. Yes. Heckin' cheese.
发，血缘，
我们虽然没有血缘，但感情很深。
I totally do not. I don't totally forgot. Oh. Yeah.
流逝，
3分钟已经流逝了。
Okay.
产卵，
乌龟在沙滩上产卵。
Heckin' fun.
奋力，
他奋力学习，考取了第1名。
It's just to use force or effort. Spare no effort. It's fine. I know it's a little bit a higher degree, but that's fine. Heckin' cheese?
逆，
What? 念机在机，
念兹在兹，
老板念兹在兹地追求公司的成长。
like always keep in mind or something. Heck. Oh.
肾，
Chin. Dang it, I already forgot. Again. Okay.
举，自毁，
火箭在空中自毁。
吹捧，
他总是被同事过分吹捧。
What? Ooh, 吹捧。
谦，不仁不义，
他为了钱做出不仁不义的事情。
That's a good one. And you, the double boo.
无邪，
他笑得十分无邪。
Excuse me. Oh, 平塞，平塞。
肉串，
他今天吃了5串肉串。
之
Oh no, wait. 瓶塞。
瓶塞，
他拿掉了瓶塞。
Chop. Wait. Wait. Hmm.
吉祥物，
他们设计了一个新的吉祥物。
虫子，
小孩子喜欢捉虫子。
博客。
博客，
他在博客上分享了旅行的照片。
博客。Oh no. 博客。Oh no. I think 博客 is transliteration? What am I looking at? YOLO.
混，
Okay. Whoops, I meant to type mix, not max. YOLO?
太，
Holy heck. Oh no. I don't remember the relationship between them and outside. It was like very peaceful. Oh, tranquil.
适合，
他适合做教师。
What? I womp womp. Is it supposed to be like
海岸，
我喜欢在海岸散步。
like a coast? It's coast is fine. Seashore, coastal, coast. It's fine. Heck.
上涨，
油价上涨了。
Man, if it wasn't for the early reinforcement prospector, that might have been a problem. What? Oh, whoops. That's a typo.
仅仅，
这仅仅是开始。
Wait. Quay? What is that? Huh.
矿，祝福，
祝福新婚夫妇。
Blessing. Blessing is fine. Quay?
亏， 期、
交叉
交叉、
我们的命运交叉了。
or like flash intersect. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Sure. I was kind of like crossing, but couldn't think of the word crossing. What? Dang it! 博客. I swear 博客 is like like an expert or something like that. Like a well-known guest. Oh, I knew. Okay, we're skipping translator. Eventually, we're gonna get to blog, but okay. It confirms the transliteration thing. I'm okay with that.
玩伴、
这个孩子没有玩伴可以一起玩。
Play a role or something. Dress to play a role or play mates. It's fine. Oh no. Vampire, maybe. Why is the grains
伪、
okay? Vampire.
反派、
电影里的反派非常狡猾。
Like opposing factions. It's an opposing faction or villain. Yeah, that's fine. I like cross. Cross sounds good.
左派、
这个组织被认为左派的。
Left wing.
水壶、
我买了一个新的不锈钢水壶。
花
花蕾、
每年春天，花蕾都会盛开。
What happened? Heck! I went with it. Wait, what is that? It's gotta be Liang, right? Oh, no, wait. Jing? Hmm.
原谅、
请原谅我的错误。
帮忙? Oh.
慌忙、
工作要小心，别慌忙。
Worry, like, worry to great hurry. Yeah, okay. Fine. Panicking hurry is good. Busy, mom. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. Interesting. 寒假. Hmm.
剑客、
这位剑客非常勇敢。
Wait. Oh. What is that? 对称? 对称? I don't know what that is.
瞪眼，
他瞪眼却不说话。
YOLO. Dang it. I gotta think. We gotta unpack that. Okay.
两侧，
马路两侧摆满了小摊。
寒假.
寒假，
寒假我要去旅行。
Oops. Winter. I don't know why I was thinking about summer. Summer is two different words.
电，
玻璃.
玻璃，
玻璃是沙子做的。
瓦.
瓦，
Hold. This is not what I think it is.
妈，
Heck, it's obvious. And what I mean is, it's obvious. It's not obvious, but like it's the word obvious. Heckin. What was that? 博客. Heckin 博客. Yeah, heckin 博客.
胶，
Obvious, right? Obviously. Obviously.
平，
Today's been going all right
侧，
so far. We're only over half though.
定心丸，
他的笑容就像一颗定心丸。
What? Oh man. Heck. Oh. Dang it. I'm like throwing everything out to save time. I don't. What is this Capitol building? King, right?
金，
Sorry.
比赛，
我们今天有一场足球比赛。
Say what? No, I don't. Oh no, it's gone. Dang it. Oh no, wait, it's back. What? Wait, I really thought that was it. Oh no, wait. Not?
剑，
That's a rough one. Wait, that's not it? Dang it. Could have sworn. What? What?
拆除、
政府决定拆除违章建筑。
账、
How's that not? It's not that. What? Oh no. No. Oh wait. Oh, it is the no, I'm fine. It is the mnemonic I was looking for. But Dr. Mario, dang it. I forgot the Dr. Mario part. That's okay. Dang it. Sing is another thing too. But what was sing? Sing is core. Core is the other one. And then Jing is another thing too. They all deal with the front being... Now I'm kind of curious what the other two are.
舌尖、
他的舌尖碰到了冰块。
So this was Shuru. Shiru. Oh no, it's like a lot, or an example of various. It's a Juru.
诸如、
他有诸多责任，诸如接电话。
Like such as, okay.
尼龙、
这件外套是用尼龙做的。
Nilong, oh man, transliteration. 大名鼎鼎
大名鼎鼎、
大名
这部电影的导演大名鼎鼎。
酱、撤、
揪心。
揪心、
这场比赛的结果让所有人揪心。
Wait. Like hold on to the heart. How do we hold on to the heart again? It's not in the way that I'm thinking of. This is from yesterday. We get a pass. Okay. Yeah. Hold on to the heart for worries. Yo. 优雅。
优雅、
他的举止非常优雅。
What? What the rays? Is that supposed to be Ray? What am I looking at? Dang it. Dang it! It was there and now it's gone. Gone. I don't know what I'm looking at. That's supposed to be a pedestal. Oh no, I got it. What? Oh no, it's not that. Huh. Say what? I feel like I had a problem with this before, right? I genuinely, is this... What?
闷
This is so disappointing, man. It's so distinctive. This is really a distinctive character. Dropping distinctive characters. Really annoying. Not that. It is oh no, it's showing off. Okay. There's no vocabulary words for this. Is that fine? It is supposed to be raise, okay. We're gonna skip because there's no vocabulary words. We're not until there's a vocabulary word. We're not entertaining those. Okay. Remind ourselves momentarily.
泌尿科
泌尿科是一个医学领域，
啃老
啃老的行为让父母很忧心。
In the world of language learning resource, you've seen a few people mention lengua. The last couple, it seems like it might be kind of new. Not a lot of info out there, but it's based on what it says on the website. Seems interesting. What type of interesting things catch your eye?
代工
代工可能导致严重的后果。
What? Oh, that's a typo.
焊接
焊接需要很多技术和经验。
药 冶炼
冶炼铜需要很多能量。
Heckin Maxibus, was it Maxibushin? Maxibushin.
9
Maxibushin. Okay.
共
Practice that.
丑 冶金
这本书讲解了冶金的基础知识。
汉 武
So what happened here?
古
Oh, okay.
绝 掰 训 拽
Oh no. This is bad. Hole. That one's really bad.
对付
Okay.
那人好对付，
那人很对付有问。So it's SRS based, right? Heavily reliant on AI, and it does have flashcard markers, but its main draw is that it creates a random assortment of stories for your daily. Yeah, story AI generating is used as complements to flashcards creation. You can also write your own prompts and create, right? Yeah, so that's something that also exists. Yeah, there's also an input feature for that article and YouTube transcript. Yep. So from what you keep track of, basically they're just slamming all the different things together. So they're trying to make a one-stop shop with AI generated stuff, and that's fine. Like, so there's already a service to write mnemonics for other things, so separate mnemonics category, and then the mnemonics are used to use generative AI to create a story. You can do the reverse and have it procedurally generated off of the interactions of it. So pretty much all the content in it is generative. Like when you import a feature for the articles and YouTube transcripts, those are all generative. Oh yeah, it's the wave of the future. They basically applied the AI compute power off of probably a web service to make money off of the web service without introducing any sort of manual curation. One of the downsides, one of the pros and cons to take it with a grain of salt, is that most of the stuff that is highly generative, like using AI flows, they aren't maintained and curated when they're generated. You can do all of that though and generate it based on Anki. Use the platform and then use the workflow to do all those steps aside and then put it into the Anki card. Yeah. The one thing that's probably dynamic is probably how they manage the SRS with all of that, with all of the AI integrated things. It's interesting. How much are they charging for that? I think they should be charging next to zero for that. Outside of the offsetting their server capacities to like what type of servers they're renting. So it should give them a profit per se for the reasonable kickback for using for creating zero infrastructure. Largely the infrastructure is already created, so I'm sure their price will reflect how much it costs to maintain whatever server or cloud services they have to power those tools. Otherwise, it doesn't seem like there's anything that there's a manual curation that's introducing something new. At least if I had to be really strict with what was described. Right now, for example, HanziHero, someone is already taking these things, like these mnemonics here, and they plug it into ChatGPT to create a story prompt and an image out of it. And then they load that onto a card, right? So you get the SRS from the platform, and then if you are subscribed to like OpenAI or something, you can have unlimited image generation, which can be loaded onto card and flow into a story, and ask them to have a prompt like that. Alternatively, you can create your own SRS using a system that they already introduced, which it doesn't sound like me that because they are having an AI generally generate those things. When you're creating mnemonics, it's not teaching you how to create the mnemonics. It's doing the mnemonics and hope that you can vibe out a mnemonics and a story creation based on using generative AI examples, which is probably no. Mika and I earlier on, that's what we were talking about. The idea that because there's no process-oriented thinking that you're doing manually for like a sufficient amount of time before you automate the thing, saying that you can import your features like articles, YouTube transcripts that interest you, and also creating and writing your own prompts, that the tool itself is not teaching you how to do that. It is using generative AI so that you can vibe backwards if it's useful. So if it's creating a random assortment of stories for you daily, they're hoping that the random assortment of stories are going to help you develop your own mnemonics and your own memory tools. And historically, there's no basis to believe that is true. And also historically, so far, like the data is still coming in, right? It's going to take another 10 or so years to know. But when you vibe something, it doesn't lead to process-oriented thinking. It stunts process-oriented thinking. Is my current narrative. So, if I were to buy a service like that, they should be teaching you. They should be showing you how it's generated. So what I mean is, on the website, it should explain what their alignment tools are. So here's where I would pay for, if it works, right? If it works, I would want to know how did they did the alignment? How is alignment working? So how does the AI alignment work? Because if you know the AI alignment, it can allow the person who's using it to understand themselves, to be able to create themselves. Now, there is a way that they're relying on where the AI generates the stories, right? And then you're hoping that when a user looks at the stories, they would be able to understand and then create their own stories, because that is the goal, in my opinion, that you're paying for. When you're paying to learn something. If AI is generating a story of which that already exists, right? It already exists in a quality, like for example, when you said yesterday you're only waiting for native examples of pronunciation, it already exists. So having an AI generate that story is still not comparable to someone who's able to look for the information and generate the information themselves. So whether they created it or they know to seek it, and having a language model that doesn't explain how the alignment works for the AI doesn't teach someone the ability to understand themselves. So they aren't learning anything. And the unfortunate side of things is it's kind of one of the things that Duolingo is criticized for, and I agree, is criticized for. when they write and generate their examples, right? Like the story prompts and the situations, the dialogue is average. It averages conventional dialogue, and that averaging effect it lacks a human touch. They are still curated though. Like Duolingo, as far as I know, have staff to curate it. Now we're talking about a new thing on the block. If I bought into it, I would need to know how they did the alignment. What are their checks for curation? Like, who is curating it? Is there a human, competent, professional, or some sort of person curating what this is being done? Because one of the really detrimental things about AI is there's no human oversight. So effectively, without human oversight, the design of the tool is catering to removing the understanding for human skills. And I think that's kind of something that I would be very concerned about. Like, if you keep reading AI stories, does that lead to any natural way of understanding someone how to create their stories? So that one feature about you can create your own stories from it, I hope that they're describing how the AI creates the story from their alignment so that they can understand why, if it doesn't work, if you don't develop stories over time, why it doesn't work, because you can compare it to, oh yeah, the AI prioritized things that I don't like or I don't resonate with. That would be something to pay money for, in my opinion, because it's a life skill. You're gonna be able to, if you can understand from the AI story these things, it would be very valuable. The SRS exists everywhere else, right? This is structure. So they're building on, I doubt they changed anything about the structure, and using AI power to determine the structure. That I don't think that would take too much resources. And and the articles and YouTube transcripts are only as good as you. You already have LingQ, so you have seen that Mikaku and LingQ does that. Therefore, people who already understands their creative process. I think using a tool like this, one of the most biggest dangers are largely not necessarily something that would prevent you from being successful at the moment, but it will prevent you from it will condition you to not have independent thoughts, right? And that's kind of the danger right now that I worry about when people use ChatGPT to create things like independent thought. Like, you can't be incentivized to create independent thought if you're not leading the thinking. So when I think of it as a language learning thing, right? Like a language learning thing, eventually you want to lead in the thinking when you're composing sentences and whatnot. And reliance on AI would mean that you would get an averaging effect that you're paying for. So I like using Duolingo. For example, I talked about Duolingo's pros and cons, but the pros do not include the averaging effect of these things. The pros for that part is to practice. So they're advertising this service as a way to learn how to create things, to remember things. I think I would be a little concerned, but I don't actually know. I'll take a look, actually. That's a really... I love when you keep coming across these new tools. I don't know how you're coming across these new tools all the time, but I would love to see how they're advertising. Yeah, comprehensible input, that's BS. If that's how they're describing it, it's BS. It's not comprehensible input. Yeah. Yeah, man, and Squarespace site, I think that's really dubious at most. I would be a little worried. It's expensive. $20 a month? Wait. I wonder how much services cost. Like, what I mean is how much it takes to keep their online services on, their AI services. AI services cost a lot of money because it takes a lot of compute power. So I'm kind of curious what the premium is on hosting AI tools. That's a quick buck, in my opinion. Like, it's hard to oversee that it's a quick buck. You just thought the fact that specifically focused on using words in different contexts through SRS was interesting. I think that part is, different context is good. Using ChatGPT will give you that. I don't know, probably not something you try, but because you mentioned it a few times, you thought, yeah. Like, I think what you're doing already is very close to the process. So like, you're making Anki cards, you're fine-tuning your selection for things that stick. SRS is the structure. So if you're studying consistently and have a routine to maintain and incentivize yourself, you're already performing SRS. And for different contexts, if you're taking pictures, making stories, finding various ways, adding more to it when it's not actively produced by you will create even less. Like, you will retain even less. Like, for example, when someone looks up a fact, right? My memory is pretty terrifyingly bad. And what I mean by terrifyingly bad, I mean when it's passive, I retain like maybe 10% of it. So when you're telling someone, oh yeah, AI is going to generate the context for you, think about what that is saying and how long you are going to have to do this. Like, I know it's easy and it's convenient and you don't have to do it, but the thing is, how long? In my opinion, they're banking on a long subscription time. At least in my opinion, because long subscription equals money. But you would have to do this a lot because you're not generating the ideas. I think that's one of the biggest points now that has grown out of this AI thing, especially this AI arms race. If you're reaching a deadline and you need to produce a result that is not much of your work to make it work, right? Your bottom line is, it doesn't matter if it's your work, as long as it works to reach a deadline, then this works. This works really well. If you're talking about maintaining and storing the value of the context that you're provided, then it often means that you're hoping the tool will teach you how to make content. And I think you do that already, Bree. You even filter information and stuff in the process of making the content. You're doing far more than having something generated for you. In my opinion, if you want to run around and use your own memory. If not, and you're not interested in that, like you're not interested in being able to do that, and you know that you'll always have access to these tools, then in my opinion, by all means, subscribe to that tool, because then you don't have to create stories. Like, the whole idea of like they let you create your own prompts, you're creating prompts, you're not creating the story. Like, you're not creating those things, you're getting a machine to do the creating part for you. It's trying to eliminate the need to do that. To me, it's like the same. It's very similar. This is going to be a hot take, very hot take. It's the same as someone who is passively immersing. Compared to someone who is actively immersing. The thing that I can tell you is, okay, say you care about a TV show. You are coming in with context. You are contextualizing what is important to you in the TV show. That translates to retention and encoding. This is an active process. But if you don't care about it, and then you go into the show, and the show generates things based on your lack of trying to get you to care about it. This is far less to happen. One thing will be guaranteed that this will happen. Brain rot would happen, though. What is brain rot? I am not creative enough. I am not creative enough to solve anything or to create anything in general. And I think this is why I'm a little bit afraid of these services. These services are unintentionally making it more convenient. I totally agree. It's more convenient. It makes learning incredibly passive, and that could get the job done. It can make people really feel good. They will learn at their own pace, right? Their own pace. But it also leads to brain rot. Because you're not looking to care about something. You're hoping something makes you care about it. And that can work for younger people, I would say. Maybe. Limitedly younger people. For a limited time. I think adults do not gather much more value from this, in my opinion. Because you already do all the other things. You already know when you learn a word, why it's important to you, or when are you going to use it, how you're going to use it. These are the things that make you the learner. When something else is providing everything for you, that's what leads to passive immersion. And I think passive immersion is what the edgy people do a lot. Edgy kids do. And the closest way to get a passive immersion is to have AI respond to everything you do so that you don't have to think about it. Don't think. Brain rot. And to me, if like I looked at the website and I see like a face, the person's face of AI thing. To me, I think that's probably some polyglot specialist or some sort of specialist person who puts teaching as a secondary thing because it's easy when you can just put your name in front of an AI model. At least that's in my opinion. On like cursory things. Obviously, I go straight to the developer's side and see if they explain, if they can connect it for me. I most definitely would be interested in seeing how they explain when AI generates everything. How does that teach skills to the user? So it can certainly teach the language to some extent, right? And that's through engagements, right? Engagements, which leads to rapid exposure. So that's the situation we're looking at for TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, Twitter, Reddit. As long as the exposure is rapid and consistent, because there's engagement to reinforce the exposure, it will work. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't work. It will not teach you any skills beyond the language itself. And for myself, I really can't get behind a product that strips users of their capacity to build skills off of learning. And that's my personal opinion. Obviously, If you ask yourself, you only want to learn Japanese, that's perfectly fine. Or you only want to learn a target language and it keeps you engaged and rapid, that's what Duolingo does. Duolingo is AI first, right? As well. He kind of retract the statement, but it's still AI powered. So this is the stuff that if you only care about the facts and you don't want to develop another skill, I'm not the person to talk to. I inherently worry about how much automation takes away from people's life skills. It allows companies, in my opinion, to tell you what you need. Because there's no life skills for that. You don't have routine. Like SRS removes routine. Duolingo does too. That's why you need streaks. Like a lot of kids, the first thing they do is like, how do I make this more fun? I should put in some scores. Right? I need something to engage me. So they look for a solution outside, and most of the time you pay for it. You pay for the solution. So I'm a little concerned. It still will work. Like, nothing in my saying is, I'm trying not to say things don't work and things do work. My major concern, if you're picking my brain, is I like when people do hard things. When you're doing a hard thing, you gotta earn more. Like, what I mean is, you're putting in so much hard work, so all the time you're placing in should make future things easier. Like, at least I would like to know that you have learned the skill that you are paying for. You didn't learn the skill with AI that you're paying for. You're learning the content that it's generating. And once this content goes away, like this generator goes away, what happens to the user? And right now, I'm fairly confident that when this condition, this environment goes away, 80 to 90% of that knowledge goes away too. Because it's still just knowledge. Like, it's still just things you memorized. You didn't enter an act of trying to do it. And I know they said you can create your own prompts. Your own prompts is only the first step to understanding how to create the thing that helps you remember. So when you prompt something, you're still not creating the stories. You're not creating the memories or the association. You're offloading that to something else. And to me, when you're not feeling rewarded for being able to do that, I don't know what you're learning anymore. So you're spending so much money time and time again to be, in a way, dependent on a process that makes language learning really rewarding. Like, what I mean is, they took the reward from that. You no longer have a reward for making a story and coming up with funny analogies and stuff that is in your own image. You are providing keywords to a prompt AI to do that for you, and it will get harder and harder the longer you don't do that or never do that. And I feel like nowadays that's what AI is trying to do. In fact, one of the many CEOs, 3 of the CEOs, their major advertisement for AI is to remove thinking for you. So what I mean is, they would analyze the pattern and coordinate and commandeer all your actions on the PC that you're operating on, and they would suggest what to do next. By using statistics, obviously. So like, hey, we noticed that you are on Wanikani very often. Maybe you should go and try this product because it would be a natural progression from your Wanikani. Like, well, thanks for the suggestion. I'm glad that I'm old enough and experienced enough to know if your suggestion is crap, bollocks, or something like that, so I can make my own decisions. Instead, if you are raised in this era, you are being told what to do. And I'm worried about that. Because eventually, the machine who treats you like a social average, because it's built on statistics, it will not be able to anticipate what happens if you experience grief. What happens when you get stuck on a very specific word in which you are an outlier. All those things become accentuated. And that sucks. And that, in humanistic terms, that will suck way more than how an AI can determine what that is. An AI is predicated on high throughput data sets. So when you're saying, oh yeah, this one thing, it really bothers me. Like, it sucks so much. But an AI would say that's 1 out of 100 things you can do. So 99% of the time, you're successful. That's not a problem. Try telling that to a human being. Like, it is so difficult how young, at least people who are reliant on being told what to do and how they generate ideas, it's so difficult to tell them like, hey, you said you have a problem. Can you tell me what the problem is? They're like, I don't know. The internet tells me this is my problem. Like, I asked ChatGPT, this is my problem apparently, according to all the other people in statistics. But can you describe the problem? Like, an AI can't describe the problem for you. Like, well, it can. I just put in the words and they tell me the most likely case of what the problem is. But you need something to compare it to. There's no human oversight. And kinda sucks. Like right now, I often, when I'm talking to someone, I don't know if it's ChatGPT talking or the person. Every time I ask them to explain something like, hey, you're having this problem. So what is the nature of that problem? And when they read it back to me, like they type to me, I was like, I feel like you just prompt ChatGPT to explain the connections between the 3 things. Because it doesn't seem like there's any you in the explanation. That's what I'm worried about. And I guess technically that's what language learners were worried about when Duolingo started doing that. And I totally agree. That is a concern. That is not why I like Duolingo, by the way. So it's complicated, but I tried, at least. Yeah, you bought yourself the year of LingQ, so I do like that it has a massive library of stuff. And it even has human curated stuff that you mentioned, right? So that's cool. And then obviously you have the input feature already, but you don't need to compare it to Lingo. Yeah. Yep. If you ever did use it, you wouldn't use it for the AI. So in your opinion, the 20 price tag for the feature have already, yeah, basically. So your partner also bought you an early Christmas gift. Ooh, a lifetime to MAKU. Oh, you think you have plenty of tools. Yeah. If you got MAKU, it's a compliment to LingQ. Your partner sounds like they pay attention to what you do. That's kind of cute. Trying to kind of feel like I can kind of see why you're willing to you know, continue making things work, right? Yeah, MAKU lifetime. Oh, I didn't realize MAKU has lifetime. Interesting. I might have to consider dabbling in MAKU too. $20 a month is yikes. I think when the more here's my decision making right now, right? Ask yourself, how passive is it, right? Versus how active is it? And then you have to ask time. Do you have lots of time? or a little amount of time, right? So this is time. Because then you have to ask how long? A long time or a short time? And this is for use. Because honestly, a lot of times when you're looking at this is strategic. So when it's passive, when it's incredibly passive, you're expecting to require a lot of time to across a long amount of time. Actually, I take it back. It's gonna feel, oh no. It's good. And then feelings. So easy, hard. So this is what AI is selling on, in my opinion. The more passive something is, the more time you'll spend on it. The more time you'll spend on it, the longer amount of time you'll use the product across a time and at one time. So this is both total and across a time, distributed across a time, because it's easy, and easy is often engagement, right? So when it's active, you're probably going to spend less time on it because it's hard. It's going to take a while, right? Here's hard. And you're probably going to try to separate it in short bursts around the years because it's strenuous. You're having to do a lot of things on your own, right? The thing is, there's a equalizer here. Learning usually happens on this end. And what is this? Exposure dominance, like rote memory stuff, is on this end. So instead of forming associations and problem solving, like lots of different life skills, right? You are compensated. So this side is compensated and convenient. So all of these are actually both positive and negative words. They're not positive and negative without context. So like something that's compensating and convenient means that there's less work. It's easy and you can do it for a longer period of time, and you can do it for repeated a lot of times, right? But on the other side, when you're learning and it's active, you typically can do it for a little amount of time, like because it's hard, it's going to take a lot of time, right? Like a lot of effort in a time, and it's going to be short, it's going to be hard, but you do get challenged to make associations and problem solving. They both can contribute to success. In fact, having both is kind of good. Now the question is, do you already have it? And for you, Bree, you already have all the tools for that, in my opinion. Like, you have so many tools, and you're already experienced enough to use the tools, to your existing tools, to accommodate all of that. $20 of price tag is kind of a hard sell. It's definitely a hard sell. If I had to weigh in on how much you shared with me. It was on sale for Black Friday, $150 for a lifetime. That was pretty reasonable considering not on sale is $500. Oh, it is still a platform for you, for them to curate things for you, which without saying too much, downloading a plugin and then using your personal channel for the actual websites and stuff, and combining them would be a free service to do that. So when you think about the 150, it's got to be worth the convenience that you gained, and then hopefully it also encourages you to acquire a new skill from using the tool. That's how I feel about tools values. So things I evaluate, right? I already talked about passive and active. And the more active it is, like the more it encourages you to be active, the higher the value gets. Because once you stop paying, this value goes away. That value is no longer there, right? Because you never got it. You never received it permanently. So if a tool is going to do anything to increase its value, this is the secret sauce, in my opinion. If the tool encourages you to learn more, like read books, get you closer to manga, get you closer to a news site, right? Things you will use for a lifetime. And how do you know if it's active? The moment you remove the tool, you can still do these things. Then the tool is valuable. So that means that not all passive things are going to lead to value. Some will. Like, for example, memorizing vocabulary or memorizing native speech. Those things will still gain value. So I'm not saying that tool is going to work. It's gonna work in some capacity. When I have to choose and prioritize something, I want both. I'm a greedy person, personally. So, and there are lots of tools available. And the ones that I'm looking for are both. So when I need to buy a tool, I hope that there's something that they actually made. Like, I'm being really blunt about this. When you place AI tools on everything, you didn't make it. Someone else did. Something else did. And all the data is not yours. You generated off of all existing data. So charging money for that is a smokescreen. It's a smokescreen for paying for something that you otherwise have access to already. At least in my opinion. I think this is one of, it's kind of like having a game and then buying a copy of it and all of it got reskinned, but now you're paying for 2 games at the same time than 1 game. It's really rough. Pretty rough. I don't know if the future is gonna be like a dystopia where someone, you should watch, have you seen Black Mirror, Brie? There's one episode of the most recent Black Mirror season that would paint a very grim but also maybe a bittersweet image of this. I'll paint you a synopsis. So when people go brain dead, right? Like when you get dementia, your brain stops working. But they invented something where it can be implanted into your brain. And this might sound like it's possible soon. It can be. So what happens is they booted up the person who's brain dead by streaming information into their brain so that they can host the human. That's kind of how I feel about AI generated stuff. The things that you are learning are being streamed into you, like being inputted into you, but you are not participating in any of its creation or thought. You're not having thoughts. And I think I know there are people out there, like there are professionals and experts out there that say, well, it's all about input, right? Input connects the dots. That's assuming you already have those skills, those fundamentals, those ways of, if you see an example A and you see an example B, you don't have brain rot to know that example A is related to example B because of it. I don't think AI does that. AI does things that connects the average and consistently reinforces a singular way of thinking. So you're not making connections. You're simply making one action entirely. So whenever someone comes up to me and say, "Oh yeah, this is the best tool," meanwhile 300 other tools exist, my first thought is, where did you get your advice from that one? And even multilingual people that, like younger multilingual people that I've met, they talk like there's only one way to do things. It's shockingly scary. Like, oftentimes I can rely on the idea that if you're from a multilingual and a multicultural background, there will be multiple ways to think about things, because humans have the observational skills when they grow up and be challenged with things. They have the observational skills to run parallels and associations. Kids don't do that, in my opinion. They can speak 4 languages, right? They can speak 4 languages. And yet when they go to say something, there's only one right way to say it. That's crazy. Like, no, there's at least 4 ways to say it, right? Like, aren't you interested in how you say it in all 4 languages? It's like, no, there's only the best way to say it. And that, to me, is what AI is doing right now, in my opinion. It's the most concerning thing that AI is doing. Is the average is best, or whatever the data supports the highest frequency of something. There's no exploratory conjectures, discussions. So whenever I talk to someone about solving their depression, their anxiety, their social skills, they come up with such confident arguments and excuses, and all I can say is it's a leap of logic. It's a leap of logic. Like, you can't go A to B to C to D and then therefore A is D when you don't know what B, C, D is in between, nor do you know any routes in between. So when it comes to vibing so often, this is what it looks like. That's how they reason. No, they know there's a B, a C, a D, a E, and then like branching B paths and branching C paths, right? C primes, D primes, and E primes, right? And it looks more like this to get there, right? They can still perceive that notion, but what they are reinforced is, you do something, you get the results. You do something, you get the results. Not how the results are made. And it sucks when you have to solve a problem that AI does not have the answer for, because you aren't the average healthy person. It's kind of the aggressive way of saying things like on YouTube. If you don't have 1 million subscribers, you aren't the average exceptional content creator. That doesn't explain the process at all. And this, in my opinion, is a hyper variant of it. So I can definitely see where people are worried. If Duolingo is a really popular platform, for example, and they're putting AI first, it can create this, right? And I am not a stranger to conceding to really pragmatic arguments. The question is, do those people give me a pragmatic argument about this? They usually don't. They do the A to Z thing, an argument that I find incredibly valid. They don't demonstrate that they understand it, though. You do like using MAKU for YouTube instead of LinkQ? Yeah, you can import videos into LinkQ, but there's a limit before you split the video into multiple parts, which sometimes cut off the transcript in weird places. That's where Migaku. I've heard about that comparison with Migaku. You like the convenience of having the translation right there. I know there are similar tools out there like Language Reactor. Yep. But I think you like Migaku a bit better. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. I only had it for 1 day. You do like that there's a lifetime for Migaku? Yes. I think the solution to stand by AI things. Migaku use AI, by the way. That's how you get transcripts, and you know, like that's how transcripts and stuff are automated, right? The thing is, if you're standing by your product, that takes a long time, and you know that it's a finite value that you're pledging for, a lifetime subscription or one-time subscription, so that you can pledge by it, would probably be a way to illustrate that no, you guys don't actually make anything for the platform. You're hosting the platform. Right. And I think it's going to come to a critical mass. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Oh yeah, you're not opposed to AI. I told you I do fact check, but in general, you do use AI for condensing them. Yes. Yeah, it's both. That's what I'm worried. That's what I'm the point that I often am trying to make is it's both. So when a product comes out and say it's all, I'm gonna make a computer joke, it's all zeros and ones, I'm not buying it. What I mean is, oh, and that's a pun. What I mean is I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that it works in a way that it's both. Again, I'm really greedy. I'm greedy for people's thinking abilities. Like, if it's not both, it's hard for me to want to recommend it to someone because they're not encouraged to be thinking adults either. Like, they're not encouraged to use something super special. They have something super special. It's their brain. I mean, I know I sound so cliche, but I wouldn't dedicate my entire life to learning stuff and being a scholar if I didn't think people have special brains. Like, humans have brains. If you make a tool that tries to turn off that brain, I can, in good conscience, say that would be the most auspicious way to use your time. Even if it takes you twice as long to learn Japanese, then repeatedly removing the process. If this twice as long offers something that helps someone develop a life skill, that's what I like schools about. That's what I wanted to be a teacher, a college student, and then go on to be a professor. I want to offer challenges to people, to kids, so that they develop life skills while learning something. They're learning more than just zeros and ones. And I kind of fear that's not the case anymore. Convenience is, you know what this reminds me of? Fast food. It kind of reminds me of fast food. Fast food has a trade-off, right? And I got a good analogy. Fast food, okay? Fast food is the same as AI right now. Home cooking is what I'm referring to as not AI. And then if you look at what fast food offers, convenience, short time, massive gains. And when I mean massive gains, I mean what it's designed to do. Right? Home cook, kind of inconvenient actually. Inconvenient. longer. And then, there are people out there that say, oh, but you can still make something comparable to that. We're not talking about that aspect. We're talking about the learning aspect. There's a time frame of learning. If you have fast food, you don't have to learn that, right? So convenience, right? And then you still get massive gains. They just happen to be lesser gains in the original purpose. What does fast food give you a lot? Calories. Calories per dollar. There was a time when it's calories per dollar and calories per time. What do you not learn in fast food? How to cook, how to tailor food to your own taste, how to do any of the process involved in making food, right? So yes, fast food is fast at doing the one thing. I'm not a fan. I'm not really a fan. I'm a fan of a process that includes both of them and allows the person to decide when it is appropriate for both. But since we can't have both, I would typically lean on a process that allows a person to generate flexibility in their ability to think. Fast food removes thinking. It doesn't have to be, you don't need to think anymore. You just get. AI, you don't need to think anymore. You just get it. When you need something, it's instant. You hit a prompt, it's instant. Right? It removes the process from it. So you can overeat. You can also be hyperstimulated by AI. Humans, it preys, in my opinion, on the human condition. If you're an adult, that's understandable because you might have developed tolerances from occasionally cooking or occasionally doing other resources and stuff. You are an adult, you have abilities and experiences that allow you to restrain yourself or discipline yourself. When you put this in front of a kid or a younger adult who haven't experienced anything else, they actually rarely ever develop any of those skills. So you have brilliant kids who maybe know 5 languages and they can barely tell me the intersection and the interaction of those 5 languages to express a singular thought. Like, it's, oh, we say this. And I'm like, okay, you and who? It's like, well, we just say this. It's like, okay, but you know 4 other languages. Why don't you say in those? But that is the most normal way. We normally say this. And I totally understand about the whole native speech thing, right? Native thing. And that's cool. That's fine if you happen to have an environment where you only have one example and line of thought. And that's not me. I don't have one line of thought. I don't want to, like, you have to understand the appropriateness. I like thinking 3 different ways, 4 different ways, non-native ways. And the funny thing here is it's not even non-native to speak English. The natural position of English is to have competing examples. So why, in my opinion, is Japanese very attractive right now? Because they only have to learn one way. At least in my opinion, behaviorally speaking. I'm not saying it's the only reason why Japanese is interesting. Notice that. I'm not saying only things. There are a lot of complex confounding variables. But one of the very classical responses when someone asks, how do I solve a problem? what is the solution to something? What is the way that people do it? What is the right way to do things? That is illustrating to me that someone constantly expects and also operates in a manner that is linear. You only have linear thoughts. AI, in my opinion, reinforces the tendency to have linear thoughts. Like you're falling behind because the textbook is bad. This is kind of like a little slight nod to something. Or the forum you're using and the teacher you're using is bad, so therefore there can only be one conclusion made. That to me is what AI does. It makes things seem very clear, and it's also a perk of choosing a language that is hyper centralized to a single model. So whenever I hear the native speech thing, how they present why it's important for native speech, the manner in which they discuss why native speech is important and having native content immersion is important, is very important to me. I don't want to talk to someone who can't possibly understand that there's another person who can think of things differently. And AI kind of removes all of that. It removes the possibility, despite it could literally say, oh, hey guys, this is a really complex topic. There's a lot of variations. You should talk with other humans. No, it's gonna say something very confidently true because they're designed to do that. In fact, they don't really know or feel judgment of doubt. There's only precision. Right? You can't stand most AI voices though, which is why you mentioned Corvo before. You do like that Migaku takes clips from the exact point in the video. You found the word and sentence so you can reference it to that. You can choose to have AI voice, or it does seem to also pull from Forvo. Oh, interesting. It has Forvo integration. Is there an available pronunciation on there which you like? Combining a tool you already use with a newly acquired tool is nice. Yes, workflow. Yeah, you're using a effective workflow to meet your needs. I think that illustrates, in my opinion, that you are making decisions as well. Yeah, High Native is another tool for pronunciation. Ask random questions about. The only downside is it's not instant. Yeah, it's user responses. Yeah, it's a user response. So it's a forum. High Native is a forum-based response, which that's why AI is so attractive. It's not instant, right? Convenience. And I totally agree with you when you need a immediate response. In fact, people who use AI a lot, it responds instantly without doubts. Like they're enriched to respond instantly. Like I ask them things like, so what do you think are involved in your error? It's because I don't like it. How do you, like, I don't understand how you can come to that conclusion, but that's the only that's the reason. It's because I don't like it. Like, oh, can you explain, did you put more, did you put any more thought into why you don't like it? Like, well, if I don't like it, then I fail. But I have to like it first. Like, okay, can you explain to me how you're going to try to produce that result? It's like, well, I'm going to go around and have people provide things for me, and then if I like it, I will use that. There's a really big fallacy here. It's a leap of logic on understanding what is it that you like and you dislike. If you don't know that, the problem will recur. And there is a very fundamental reason why that person eventually dislikes everything that they end up liking initially. And that has very little to do with whether AI can explain that to you or not. And boredom is one of them. Boredom is another great one that covers so often. Complacency, plateauing, memory plateaus, scalability of memory, association, creativity. All those have properties that do not complement having AI as your primary and sole source of motivation and engagement. Much like TikTok, I'm not saying you can't use TikTok. Actually, someone, Mika, recently asked me if I doom scroll, and so I said yes, I do. I do it 15 minutes before streaming in order to get like a relevant topic that has been clouding the things. And Bree, you have an act for looking at whatever is current in the language learning app space. That is something you don't entirely do all the time that consumes all your time. You have a balance of things that you do. Me too. But when doom scrolling and AI and stuff preys on engagement in order to consume the rest of your time, then there's no, in my opinion, there is a complete lack of opportunity to develop proper problem solving skills or critical thinking skills. You rarely have to make decisions anymore. And I think the whole idea of trying to create a one-stop shop is going with that idea. And honestly, for my personal, I'm not saying other people, you can do whatever you want, because I don't know you. For myself, I genuinely do not go and try to find one-stop shops anymore. If a one-stop shop is given to me and I use it, that's perfectly fine. I'm talking about I don't actively go to look for one-stop shops. I go to look for what I can learn from things. So if someone is telling me I don't have to learn anything about learning by using their tool, I'm less interested. Unless they give it for me for free. Like what I mean is I see an opportunity when I see an opportunity. That's luck playing its cards. When I'm making the decision and I'm behind the driver's wheel, I want to learn something. Not just the content that's being recycled, spit out, and recycled and churned into AI slop over and over again. Or talking to someone who's churning and recycling all the same things that everyone else is churning and recycling. That's different. That's almost like sapping the humanity out of opinions and sapping the humanity out of thinking. It's really rough, especially when after a while you talk to people about the emotional decisions and it comes off as there's a robot behind there telling them how to feel and what they think the problem is, as opposed to expressing the thing that the robot can't possibly know, which is like, oh, you know, this face, it looks kind of jacked up. Something about the color is not jiving with me. Or like it could be also the way the line, none of that ever comes out anymore. Honestly, it's like pulling teeth. I would say it takes me a good 2 to 3 years of building trust and consistent encouragement to get to a point where someone can tell me something that they didn't already have been told to feel and do. It's quite telling. I think my interactions with the youth of today is a startling contrast with like 15 years ago, roughly 15 years ago, when I had the opportunity to consistently interact with people that are before me and even before and people above me, right? Oh, when you see an opportunity, you offer you a lifetime sub to speak. Oh no, you see, I would also have to make time for that opportunity. Okay, I'm saying that. Let's not forget the other part of the equation. We still have to make time for it to seize the opportunity. I do see the opportunity, and I also see that the opportunity is on the on the table for a very long time. Are you trying to strong arm me here? Are we playing some chicken game? I know, Bree. I mean, if you can get me to stop yapping about mental health and thinking and problem solving, critical thinking, we might actually get there first. You know, we might actually get there. But I think talking about this stuff is, in a way, going to be relevant to anytime we learn about French. So we're kind of getting the yap out of the way in a sense, because all of these themes will probably come back up the moment we work on a different method. Oh, so it's your fault? Of course it's your fault. It's your fault that we have so much things to talk about. Bree. Of course, you better be thinking it's your fault. It was only interesting because you're around. Right? I think that's a good fault. What's so bad about having a lot of things to yap about when you can't get things done? I think that's like a great reason to be around people, you know? I mean, virtually. Or IRL. It's all of the above. I feel sometimes humans have lost the appreciation for being human, and this is exactly why nowadays, I know this is gonna sound ironic, I don't mind hearing someone who said they lost track of time because they spent too much time with another human being. I genuinely think that is a win overall right now, and that is how my mindset and perspective has changed over the years. There was a time when people were like, hey, all right, you should go and do homework, right? You should go and do homework. You stop hanging out with your friends. You can hang out with your friends later. Go do your work. I can't believe in a matter of a lifetime, like half a lifetime, that I would be saying, you should go and hang out with your friends. Your homework can wait. Like that is scary. Like just momentarily pause for a moment and think that you have to encourage someone to go and try to have fun with another person because they are more likely to spend time isolated and not do that and hyper focus on gaining information than understanding and exploring how they are human. It's crazy. And I'm not talking about like they're really well-adjusted people, obviously. I'm talking about the young audience that feel like they're constantly catatonic every time they go to bed. When they get up, they're catatonic. When they go to class, they basically lost everything. Their like souls leave their body and they don't feel like there's any reward in being around people and whatnot. That's in the last 3 months, it kind of pushed my limits to how aggressive I could be in order to get someone to literally ask the next person a question. Because they kept assuming that it's true. All the things in their head are true, reinforced by the internet and whatever tools they use. And when they asked, it put a smile on my face, honestly. When they asked in those like 4 different instances between multiple people, they immediately got an answer that solved the problem that they had. Isn't that great? Honestly, I was ready to like immediately think, oh, they're not going to answer the question because both of them are socially awkward, both of them are introverted, and they don't want to tell each other the truth. I was ready for that because I genuinely believe that's probably going to become the social norm soon. But in the last couple months, the most rewarding thing I've ever experienced is they took the plunge. They asked either the teacher or a student or a classmate, and they got an answer on which it made them smile, relieved, and happy, and it led to an interaction, that they might come back from the idea of saying humans have worthless information. They are erroneous. They're not focused. It takes them time to do things. So I might as well ask a machine. Really wonderful. Like, and I'm not using specifics because of discretion, right? I mean, I'm not a professional therapist or anything like that, like confidential, but we're exercising discreetness here. It is a joy to see. Here's one. I think it was about 8 months ago. I was talking about how one could leverage talking to customer service if there's a human behind customer service, because communication skills are at an all-time low, and generally it's reciprocated in the services. So if you are able to know that you can communicate sufficient enough to get something that you want, go talk to customer service now, because customer service is likely going to be quicker than the attempt to manipulate you through automated services. And you get an opportunity to maybe test out your problem solving skills. One time, someone came back to me after that story, and this is anecdotal, obviously. It just brings joy to my heart when it happens. They came back and said, hey, you know what? I spent 40 minutes waiting, trying to filter through options to get to an automated service. And he was like, nah, this isn't for me. So the thing that person did later was 5 minutes later, he decided to just hit 0, talk to customer service, and he got the problem fixed in 5 minutes. And he wanted to share that with me, and my first thought was, exactly. That, well, and obviously I was already ready to prepare, like, oh man, maybe it took him like 3 hours to solve a problem with this person. It can happen. All the bad things can still happen. The thing is, what are the rewards can you possibly get from trying to interact with another human being? It's unexpected. It's anxious inducing. There's fear. There's distrust. There's also hope, mutual trust, understanding. Machines will not provide you with that. So if you ever have a problem that's unsolvable, a machine is going to really rip you a new one. Like, it's gonna be really rough. And I think we'll see how that works in the future. These things, that's worth all the years. I earnestly feel, and then when you were talking about Black Friday, you know, how people were running and buying things and whatnot, I think I feel so much more pining for seeing humans try to solve things than the world, this like kind of more excluded, cut out world of, yeah, you can go through a whole day without ever talking to a human being. Like, and what I mean by whole day, I mean consuming, reading, writing, and not have a humanistic thought. Like, the idea is that it is the social norm to not convey human things to either yourself or anyone else. Like when you go and grab cereal, right? I'm sorry, that's an American example. For those who don't eat cereal, that's fine. I don't eat breakfast. You grab a bowl, you put the cereal in the box, you look at the box, and you're like, I'm consuming this much calorie. Like, those things, they're gone. It's more like, I have to eat. I ate. Now I'm gonna go online, tell no one about my day, not interact with anyone, do a set of constant tasks, and then doom scroll and not process that all the people that you doom scroll are content creators who have their own lives and people. It's the content, so it's treated as content. And That's kind of how I mean. How is anyone surprised, at least in my opinion? How is anyone surprised that when the first opportunity they have to interact with a human being, they can't seize it? They can't use it. They can't view it. And then how is it any surprise that the other person is likely to feel the same way? It's so rough. And now we're talking about language learning. What do you do with language learning? There are individuals, for sure, who prefer to learn the language and never interact with another human being. But I like to think that the vast majority of people who is learning another language is expecting to want to interact with something of human creation, be it the human itself or the cultural reflection and projection of humans. What does that include? It does include watching movies, manga, anime. Those are people who create those things. Unless you're okay with, an AI generating all your movies and books and stories, then I have no counter arguments for that. You've also seen a few people talk about Elon.io. You're almost positive it's heavily based or completely curated from AI, but it's not terrible to you. It's kind of like a mix of Anki and Duolingo, but not as gamified. If it's curated, that's a great balance. I think curated AI stuff is a great for both things, and that curation can offer opportunities, hopefully, for the designer or the people that design to infuse some sort of learning process that is reflectively human, so that you can use it as a model, right? Something that's human is relatable. So if they curated it, you can see the logic behind the curation over time. And if it's AI, it would be obfuscated. Like, you can't actually see what they decide to choose. It might be maybe even incomprehensible, really. There's a subscription, but you don't think any of the actual lessons are behind a paywall? Intriguing. Dark mode, seeing how many words you know and a few other things are there. It just drills sentences. Has you translate from English into French, for instance, and haven't seen any kind of explanation. I see. For grammar, things like that, okay. It might be there, but just check out briefly. Oh, okay. Why is it called Elon.io? I feel like that's farming for some clicks. I guess you can't copyright names, so. Oh, the creator's name is Elon? Oh no. That's fine. That's fine. It's something outside of their control, but that's kind of cute. They could have added like something, another thing to it though. That's fair. That's fair. All right. We gotta get back. Enough yapping. Oh, whoops.
汉料，
工人正在使用焊料修补机器。
Thank you for sharing, Bree. Thank you for sharing. Always appreciate it.
西，官吏，
官吏应该服务公众。
There's also a community on there. You can make and post your own courses. Okay. Sounds like a great mix. Quite a nice combination of collective working. Oh, Ying.
雕，
嗯，冷若水，no， 冷若冰什么？冷若冰箱。Heck, I just went for it. Didn't work.
嗓音，
孩子们喜欢听他的嗓音。
Okay. 妄想。
妄想，
你这是妄想，事情不会那么简单。
拴住，
没被拴住的狗，
All the language courses on there by default are called hardcore language. Okay. That sounds quite a lot like a Gen Z product. I'm not saying that it's bad because of that. It's like it's endearing. I kind of like it. I think there's some charm, like it's very charming. Feels like there's someone who is behind like giving it that human charm. Hardcore insert language name. That's kind of human. Hardcore Japanese, hardcore French. How does this work? Slenderman. Oh no. I don't know. What the stone, man? I don't know where the stone is going. Oh no, wait a minute. It's not the stone. We're not using stone. That's why I couldn't find it.
右，逮，含，碎，倦怠，
天气太热，让人倦怠无力。
How do you just say tired? Tired and idling. Languid. We're not gonna. Lethargic is close. I use. What happened here? How do we do it? 救星. Hold it. Okay, thank you. Oops. Oh man, I typed it incorrectly.
眨眼，
Heck, it took me a while to get this and now it's gone again. Dang it. Oh no, it's different. Just kidding. Oh. Han, not Yan. Yin, not Yin.
沙哑，
我说太多话，现在嗓子沙哑了。
煤炭，
煤炭是重要的能源。
I've been hydrating, okay? Oh, it's it after midnight? Oh, cheeky. Cheeky.
浊， 燕，
The heck is with the sun?
雾，
Oh, midnight time? Wordle? Ooh, Wordle.
木炭，
木炭可以用来烧烤。
I told one of my best friends that I wouldn't mind like downloading the app for Wordle and then keep on like exchanging and connecting through Wordle. And I totally failed immediately after that. Maybe I should consider how I go about that.
一眨眼，
他一眨眼就跑走了。
哎呀，
哎呀，这食物太好吃了。
Heck? Not again. Here's the newest logic puzzle style game you've been enjoying. Clue by Sam. Does it have any reference to Clues by Not Sam? Why do I think this is... Oh, it's not. Okay.
冰，
I don't know if you know what I mean. Oh, it's cool. No. Yes. No. Oh no. Oh no, I think this is fine.
冷若冰霜，
这位老板一向冷若冰霜。
憨，山， 巫婆，
You're given a group of people and you have to determine which one. Yeah, it's Clues. Have you ever played the tabletop game Clues from like 20 or 30 years ago? I see. So someone made a puzzle game style out of it. I see. Yeah, it's a game called Clues. I don't know who the original. I don't know who actually made the game of Clue. Oh, is it? I think it might actually be by Sam. Yeah, clue. Yeah. What you described is the logic by the game. Clue. But they call it clues because sequel or like spiritual idea. And the thing that you described, Clue is a logics game. So actually in one of my classes in logical system, when we were learning about how logic works, our instructor demonstrated how to win in the game of Clue because it's a logic game. And the premise is pretty much the same premise, but it is actually dealing with factors, and then you're lining up logical links. We were using syllogism, how to like A equals B if C is true. We were practicing that, but we were practicing it using a theoretical situation in Clue. And often logic puzzles are styled in that way. Especially like criminals, like connecting clues to various things to narrow down the probability. And he was demonstrating how he, with proper logical systems, you are unlikely to like not figure it out, basically. And figure it out very quickly as well. I don't wait, who's the person who made Clue though? Anthony Pratt and his wife Elva. Wait, is this? Yes. Is this the right one? Yeah. Interesting. I was asking if it had any relations to it, and your description described the description of Clue. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. I imagine it's somewhat intentional. Not that I'm saying the game is like identical to it. You've never played Clue? Aww. That is definitely something. That is definitely a Thanksgiving family fun that they had right there.
侃侃而谈，
老师侃侃而谈的讲解历史，
侃侃而谈。
球
What happened here? Why is that mouth so... I thought this was like dao, but it's not. Real them. Then instructs. Oh, by mouth? What part of the... Oh, okay. That's fine. We're gonna give a pass for most things today, I suppose. Not too concerned. I guess I would have had to guess it was fun. More concerned of what Dao is. I'm guessing Dao is just a blade. The blade and mouth? It's probably like something like this. That's probably Dao. Oh.
挑剔，
老板挑剔了报告的每个细节。
分，
Apart is not. Yeah, the mnemonics one. Oh, this one's kind of bad.
谢，
Discharge.
黑，突，
What is that? Where's the spraying coming from? Oh,
这，
that's why.
哀，
That one's kind of a tough one. What? Oh, wrong tone.
雇主，
Clue and the game that you're talking about, Clues, sounds like a really fun game. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. There is a show kind of like that too. Have you seen Knives Out? There's like an extended universe for this, but have you seen Knives Out, Bree, yet? It's a Clue related game, and I or not game but movie. I think it's both a TV show and a show, and then there's like spin-offs and stuff. I think I saw one of the Knives Out. It's the one with Craig in it. I think I am not sure if Craig is in all of them. You know, what's his last name? The James Bond guy. But Knives Out, if you like clues, like the idea and also want to watch along, I think Knives Out is a great thing. Wait, hold up. Let me make sure it's called Knives Out, because I feel like I get these things kind of mixed up. It's a film. Yeah. Daniel Craig, right? Is that his name? Yeah, Daniel Craig. Knives Out. The movie is great. It's very much trying to elicit the Clue game. It's basically what the premise of Clue is, which sounds like it's also the premise of Clues by Sam. Really entertaining. I think there's a sequel or a spin-off. Oh yeah, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. That was recent. I don't know. I don't know how well it did, but let's find out. Oh, it did pretty well too. The new one. Yeah, both of them did well. I haven't watched the next one yet. So if you're like in the mood instead of playing a game, Knives Out. Wait. What is that? The 士兵每天都要 something 训练 Am I drawing a blank on fingers and a crossbeam? In a storehouse and tree? Oh, I know what it is. I think. 长枪
扛枪，
士兵每天都要扛枪训练。
What the tree and what the... I had a problem with this before, right? Or is... The heck? I have no idea where the forest is coming from. Got it in 3, Telet, Forum, and Grove. Oh, nice. Yeah, that sounds like Clue. Um... Oh, that was Wordle? Oh. Wait, it's Gruff? That's the Wordle? How'd you get from Select, Forum to Gruff? Wait. How does that even work? Wait, how does that even work? You got in 3 with those 3? Interesting. Dang. Wordle master then. I don't even know how do you get... I don't even know how those words overlap. Alright. Wordle, huh? You know what that kind of sounds like? What I thought you were saying is Gruff was all you could think of after the yellows from Forum. Oh. I thought you were saying something like the Clue game. The Clue game would be 3 places. It would be the location. It would be, so you, by coincidence, it would be the person, the location, and then the murder weapon would be the that's what you're supposed to figure out. And just by coincidence, that's all I thought about too. I'm like, 3 things. Oh, interesting. Because the content could be different. The content for the whatever that person's game is could be different. In the game of Clue, all the characters are color coded. Like Mr. Purple, like purple, green, orange. It's part of their attire. And then it would be something like the candlestick or the knife in the dining room or the kitchen or something like that. I don't know. We're just gonna pass this on. Oh, right. That's fine. This is the
蓝
Lan is the greedily. Oh yeah, there's no location or murder weapon clues, but you're given clues like Sally has 5 innocent neighbors and 3 those. Oh wait. I did play the game of Clues. Clues is another game. You probably have something like this. I've played this in high school. It probably looks like this. It's another game. It's an old game by another one. It probably looks something like this. And you're given clues to eliminate people. Like you flap them down and eventually you get to lead to whoever and you take a guess. And then this is, you know, this would be a column. And these would be rows next to each other. And you're given a process of a way to converge on the correct thing. It's probably like this. That's a different game as well, and it plays on the same concepts of logic as Clue. So Clue and Clues. I didn't realize that's what it's called. Is that what it's really called? Wait, Clues tabletop game. No, there's a game that I'm thinking of. I don't know if that's what it's based on. Hold up. Oh no. The way you describe columns made me think about this. Maybe it's not the same game, but oh, Guess Who was your jam when you were younger. Clues by Sam is kind of similar, but you're identifying all the criminals. Ah, okay. Yeah, Guess Who. Thank you. Thank you. That is what I was thinking of. Oh wait, is it? Yeah, it's like Guess Who. There's more versions of Guess Who, but yes, it's like that. So it's cool to see that people are still making those types of games. Logic games are fantastic. Yeah, it's like Guess Who. I don't know when I was playing back then. I didn't know what it was called. Have you ever played a game called Rummy? Rummy is nice too. Back in middle school to high school, when I was in like the gifted program, what we did was we played games like this. We played logic games basically. So we would play like match games, and talk about story with holes. I really enjoyed story with. Hello there, Jonathan. You heard Rummy? Yeah, I think it's called Rummy or Rummy Cube. Something like that. Let me try to figure out what it is. It's kind of like Mahjong, kind of. Not the same thing as the Rummy, the card game. Hold up. It's called Rummy Cube with the K, but it might be related to Rummy. So Rummy Cube, this game, which is very like it uses tiles instead of cards. So I imagine it's related to Rummy or like a match game. You have 54 pages to finish it. You don't know how to get started. What do you mean? You think you used to play Rummy or Grandma, but you haven't played it in a decade? I like Rummy. Rummy, the standard card game. Yeah, 54 pages to what? Finish what? And it sounds like you are doing something entirely. Entirely unrelated. History? Oh, I see. According to Wordle's hash, a tool. Okay, a tool that rates your word. It said after forum, the only two words left was gruff and roughy. Wow. Okay. Intriguing. Dang. 54 pages to do something. Good luck on history. What kind of history are you reading right now? Alright, let's complete today and then call it a day. I'm kind of tired. Joe. They kind of all look like themselves, right? Lian. More. Except for this one. What is this one? Guo. Song. Oh, Song doesn't look. Oh, Yi doesn't either. Yi. Communist Russia. It's nearly 5:30 a.m. History. 54 pages on the history of communist Russia, huh? Intriguing. Roll. You hate the next as it's on agriculture? Gonna have to find some way to be interested. Agriculture section. Wonder what it's like. Establish. Hill. Uh-oh. I don't think I like how this... Oh, it's probably... Nobody. Ooh, that's not gonna be great. Jung is not great. Okay. Guanming, I can't see the rest. Hold. Guanming something, probably a law. Okay. Lay law. Can't see it. Fine. Yan Wang. Yi Li. Yang Fu. Li Chai. Li Chai. Li Chai is gonna 大陆橙色，橙色加蒜，不理，不理不睬，不理不睬。哎，橙汁，打岔。Okay. So, what time is it? James Bond is in front of the bakery? Oh. Keeping eye on, I guess, the state. State of things, right? State of, I guess, the French bakery that wants to conquer the world with a special spray that turns people into croissants. I think that was it. Okay. All right. We have Link in the pawn shop working we're not, yeah, kind of working. He is acting as a convoy, a representative convoy, carrying a special lotus flower exchange at the pawn shop on Zelda's behalf. Mario, bathroom of the office building, working on some plumbing job, and he encountered a coffin. But nobody is around. But nobody in the coffin either. I think this is okay. Kind of weak. But it's small. It looks like more. We'll be okay, I think. Bart Simpson is in the office building where he is being commanded by his father's older brother, who happens to not be a yellow person, but a white slender man. That sounded slightly questionable out of context. SpongeBob is in the hot springs of the temple, where he is charged to clean up and maintain the container, the wooden container that has a priceless Song Dynasty artifact. Of course, he ended up breaking it. I have Yoshi, who's in front of the house of a slender man who has co-opted him to rake up all the debris and leaves on the lawn. And Yoshi, well, breaking. Only wanted to know where all that came from. Where all this, that, them came from. We have Yoshi again, who's in a bathroom of the house. Carrying a priceless scepter from oh no, it's not, it's Yen. Right? No, it's Yi. Oh no, it's Rudolph! Oh no. That's a problem. I can't distinguish between the two carrying stuff. It's Rudolph. Rui. So he's carrying the priceless scepter for a prospector. Right? And maybe sing. Wait, what does this mean then? I don't know what this means. Auspicious. Oh man, that's okay. So Rudolph bathroom carrying a scepter for a prospector to wash off the bracelet, like the scepter, and maybe it can serve as an auspicious gift to Santa. Be a great way. Now we have Robin Hood, who's in the bakery, making an exchange for some soft croissants by offering and equipping the good old proletariat with some wooden spears. Alright. We have James Bond. This is gonna be rough in the future. James Bond is snuck into the bathroom of the English manor from the neighboring hills to establish oh, it's a bottle. Oh. To establish a message for Jung. Mr. Jung. The contact inside. Can I think of some problem characters that we kind of rush by? There's Bo Ke. And it's not there. What the ball? How did ball work? Is it like probably trellis? Yeah, ball and ke. For blog transliteration. Momentary lapse of judgment for Fun. Fun, which is instruct. And Lan. Greedy. Might want to change. Might want to add something. The fun part. It looks like fun, and then he's like talking. So, got a line. Really elvish lady from the neighboring forest. That doesn't really improve that very. Alright folks, that's a wrap for today. Quite tired. Fun chatting. It was quite a lot of chatter. Gotta take a gander at some of all the cool stuff that Bree is sharing from day to day. It is the end of the year, so we're looking for some things. Boom Pro is set in stone already from the beginning of the year. So we're gonna be picking that up in Christmas, and then we're picking up all of Persona for Christmas as well. We still got one more month before we decide what we're gonna pull in terms of financial investments and plans for 2026. And all the 2026, most of the 2026 projects are going to start in the first week of January. And we want to try to somehow kind of scale back maybe slightly all this other stuff from 2025. We still got a half year, roughly a half year to go for Wanikani and HanziHero. And then the second half of 2026 is like the sky is the limit, really. So until then, this is a wrap for HanziHero today. If you're gonna watch this later, 谢谢. As always, feel free to follow along, pick up HanziHero for yourself, give it a try, let me know what you think. You're always welcome to yap about all the other stuff. I certainly have a lot to say, even despite having limited experience. You read so much about hot takes. Hot takes just come at you like it's everywhere. So whenever you start doing something long enough, you kind of become inherently aware of so many things. And it seems like overnight you have 3 or 4 new kind of redundant startups on something. Technology moves quick. I imagine this won't be the last time we start gaggling and shooting and exchanging things, Bree. It might as well be a daily hobby at this point. Like a daily weekly update. What is the next? Here is the roundup of the next 10 language learning apps that came out this weekend. It feels like video games, like every week, like, oh, here is the next top 10 video game stories. It's got so much. It's such an inundation, and it makes for great conversation. So to provide an example. Until next time, 大家下次见. Right, 感谢观看. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.